The ship doesn't stop. That's the first thing you notice. No announcement, no intercom, no footsteps above you. Just the low, mechanical groan of an engine that doesn't know you're alone. Level 1. The passenger. You booked the cheapest crossing you could find. Cargo ships sometimes take passengers. Not many people know that. You did. 42 days. Rotterdam to Shanghai. $400. You told yourself it would be an adventure. The crew was supposed to be 23 men. You counted them at departure. 23 faces. 23 orange jackets. You remember thinking one of them had cold eyes. You didn't think about it again. That was 3 days ago. You wake up on day 4, and the corridor outside your cabin is silent. Not quiet. Silent. The kind of silent that has weight. You knock on the cabin next to yours, the one that always had music playing. Tinny speakers. Something in Filipino. Nothing. You knock harder. The door swings open on its own. The bunk is made. Perfectly made. A cup of coffee sits on the desk, still warm. Level 2. The search. You tell yourself there's an explanation, shift rotation, some maritime drill you weren't told about. You walk the corridor. 12 cabins, all the same, doors open, beds made, coffee cups, half-eaten meals, a deck of cards mid-game. Nobody. You climb to the mess hall. The stove is on. A pot of rice, still bubbling. You turn off the flame. Your hands are shaking, and you don't fully realize it yet. You go to the bridge. The bridge is the nerve center of a ship this size. Charts, radar, radio, the wheel. The door is unlocked. Everything is on. Every screen, every instrument. The ship is on autopilot, locked to a heading of 094 degrees. You know what that means because you read about it before boarding. You researched this trip. You were excited. 094 degrees is not the route to Shanghai. You stand at the window and look out at open ocean. No land, no vessels, no birds, just gray water in every direction, and the ship moving steadily towards something you can't see. Level 3. The radio. You try the radio. You've never used one before, but the interface is labeled International Distress Frequency, Channel 16. You key the mic. This is a passenger aboard a cargo vessel. I don't know the name of the ship. The crew is missing. I need assistance. Static. You repeat it. Static. You try again and again, 7 times. On the 8th attempt, someone answers. The voice is calm. Too calm. Vessel calling. Please confirm your MMSI number. You don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm a passenger. The crew is gone. I woke up and please confirm your MMSI number. Same tone, same speed, like a recording. You look around the console for anything with a number on it. You find a metal plate. 9 digits. You read them out. Silence. Then, that vessel is not registered as carrying passengers. You feel something cold move through your chest. What does that mean? No response. You try channel 16 for the next 2 hours. Nobody answers again. Level 4. What the ship is carrying. You go below deck. You've never been below deck. Passengers aren't supposed to go there. There are no passengers anymore. The cargo hold is the size of a warehouse. Rows of steel containers, floor to ceiling, locked with heavy bolts. Most are unmarked. One isn't. A small white label, printed, not handwritten. You photograph it with your phone. Your phone has no signal, but the camera still works. The label has a shipping code, a destination, and one other line, a biohazard symbol. You back away slowly. Then you notice the temperature. The hold is cold, much colder than it should be. Refrigerated, you think about the crew. 23 men, gone without a word. Beds made, coffee still warm. You think about the route. 094 degrees, wrong direction. You think about who books a cargo ship to carry something refrigerated, unmarked, and pointed at a destination that doesn't match the ticket. You stop thinking about it because thinking about it means following the thought to its end, and you're not ready for that yet. Level 5, Day 7. You've been surviving on mess hall food and bottled water. You've learned to read the radar, mostly. 3 times in 2 days, a blip appeared, a vessel close enough to hail. Each time, you tried the radio. Each time, the blip changed course before you could make contact. Not drifted, changed deliberately. On day 7, you find the captain's quarters. The door was locked. You broke it open with a fire extinguisher. The desk is neat. Logbooks, charts, an old photograph of a family. 2 kids on a beach somewhere warm. The safe is open and empty. But underneath the desk, kicked there maybe in a hurry, is a satellite phone. Battery at 11%. You hold it like it's the most valuable thing you've ever touched. You don't call emergency services. You call the number written on the inside cover of the captain's log. A woman answers. She says one sentence before the line cuts. Don't open the containers and don't let them board. Battery dead. Level 6. The boarding. You see the boat on day 9. Small, fast, no markings. Coming from the south, cutting through the chop, headed straight for you. 4 people on deck. You watch through binoculars from the bridge. They're not Coast Guard, not Navy. The way they move, the way they're dressed, the equipment on that boat, these are people who find things that don't want to be found. You think about the woman's voice. Don't let them board. The ship has a PA system. You turn it on. You lower your voice as far as it will go, and you say, "This vessel is under quarantine protocol. Any attempt to board will be reported to the International Maritime Organization. Maintain distance." You made that up entirely. The small boat slows. They circle the ship for 40 minutes. You don't breathe for most of it. Then they leave. You sit in the floor of the bridge, and you stay there for a long time. Level 7. What you find on day 11. You open one of the containers. You told yourself you wouldn't. You did. Inside are crates, wooden, stenciled with manufacturing codes, dense foam packing material. And inside the crates, in sealed bags kept cold by the refrigeration units running off the ship's power, are organs, human organs, preserved, labeled, numbered, dozens of them. You count without meaning to. It's a reflex, your brain doing something mechanical, so the rest of you doesn't have to process what this is. You close the container, you lock it, you go to the bathroom, and you stay there for a very long time. When you come out, you understand everything. The crew didn't disappear, they were removed. The route change was deliberate. This ship is going somewhere specific, to someone specific, and you are now the only living witness aboard a vessel carrying something that people have already killed to protect. Level 8. The choice. The ship reaches a point on the chart marked in the captain's log with a single red circle. No port name, no coordinates labeled, just a circle. You've had 4 days to think. You know 3 things. 1. Someone is expecting this ship to arrive somewhere. 2. The boarding party came back. A different boat, 2 nights ago. You use the PA system again. They left again. They won't leave a third time. 3. You found a life raft on the port side. Manual inflation. Rated for 4 people. Enough food and water for 72 hours. The ocean around you is not empty anymore. You see platforms in the distance. Oil rigs, maybe. Something industrial. And beyond them, on the horizon, a thin, dark line. Land. You have to decide. Stay with the ship and face whoever is waiting at the destination. Or take the raft, aim for the coast, and disappear. You think about the photograph in the captain's cabin, the 2 kids on the beach. You think about 23 men who knew too much. You don't think for very long. Level 9. The water. You inflate the raft at 3 a.m. No moon. Good. You take the captain's log, the satellite phone, even though it's dead, and you photograph every container label before you leave. You go over the side. The water is black and cold, and the ship above you looks enormous from the surface. A wall of steel moving away from you slowly, lights still running, engine still turning, autopilot still locked to its heading. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going. You watch it until it's a shadow, and then a light, and then nothing. You paddle. For 6 hours, you paddle. When the sun comes up, you can see the coast clearly, maybe 8 miles. Your arms are destroyed. You keep going. Final level, what happens after? You make it to shore, a fishing village. Small. The people there speak a language you don't have. You show them the photographs on your phone. One of the older men looks at them for a long time. He makes a call. 3 hours later, 2 men in civilian clothes arrive. They speak English. They don't show you any identification. You tell them everything. They listen without expression. They take your phone. They tell you that you'll be taken to an embassy, that you'll be safe, that this is bigger than you understand. You ask them what happens to the ship. They look at each other. One of them says, "What ship?" You're given a new passport 2 weeks later, a new name, a flight to a city you've never been to, a number to call if you ever feel unsafe. You carry the captain's log in your bag. You kept it. You didn't tell them about it. You don't know why. Maybe because it's the only proof that it was real, that 23 men existed, that they had families, that someone should know. You open it sometimes on quiet nights. You look at the red circle on the chart, and you wonder who received that ship, and whether they noticed the containers had been disturbed, and whether they're still looking. The ship never stops. It just finds new passengers.